And it probably says get fucked, actually.
It probably says right on it.
Yeah.
Get fucked. Get fucked. I know you're not reading this.
That's what I read on the bottom of my emails.
Mm-hmm.
Sincerely, Matt Eads, PS, yada, 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 PPS.
Get fucked.
Get fucked.
You got to put like all your branding.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
right. The little,
the
the
branding.
Matt Eads, and then like the little like white, almost unreadable text.
Yeah.
Where you're like, why? I can't even.
It's not embezzled enough.
Yeah, a little phone number.
Yeah.
PPS.
Why did you send me the fucking text version of the middle finger?
Welcome to the show. It is August the 19th, 2019, episode 285 of the Talking Reckless podcast. I'm Matt Eads, joined by Kevin Barr.
285? Are you serious?
Yeah, that's a lot of podcasting.
That's like coming
not
up
even
on Tree Honey.
It's Kevin, your big 300 spectacular that you've been planning for the last almost 11 years we've been doing this podcast.
I remember
It's going to have to come to fruition soon.
when we got 200. That was like...
Do you? I don't.
No?
When was it? Were we here?
It's like a year and a half ago.
Oh, yeah.
I sort of do.
Did we do anything? We didn't. We talked about doing something and then just showed up here.
Jokingly,
And
talked
didn't do
about
anything.
the big 200 show, and then I think
we made a lot of too sweet jokes during that episode.
So all the episodes.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you're right.
No, but the two sweet jokes stop here, Brandon Lynch.
That's right. I would like someone who's listening and has no better time to find out how many episodes I've been on.
Oh, that's probably most of them. Probably quite a few of them. Yep.
I want to know when my 200th was or is.
The only one who's ever been on every single one.
Have you?
Me, yep.
I never cobbled one together.
No. It
No,
never. We always talked about.
There was that time Oliver started learning how to use all the stuff, and he hosted an episode.
Right.
But Matt was also here for that.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes. There was that's right. There was a plan to
Yeah.
teach someone else how to use the equipment in the event I couldn't make it. And that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. It turns out.
No.
Definitely not me.
No.
No, I didn't even pretend to want to know.
No.
I mean, there's dials. Do you have any idea how many dials are on this thing?
There's a lot. If I were to count them all, there's like 8, 9. So there's 8 in each row.
How many do we use?
It's like 30. There's probably about 70 dials on there. I use maybe like 10 of them. Probably
like
less than that, actually. Probably like 8
15%.
of them.
I can handle a 15% on a test.
If we got rid of everybody except for the same 4 people,
Okay.
we'd never have to touch the board, right?
Yeah, pretty much. A little bit. Just a little bit. Because like people move around and, you know, some days you get less of a voice than more of a voice.
What if we were to construct a giant contraption that we hang from the ceiling that has like shoulder harnesses and like chest guards and everything like that, and everyone had to like physically slide into these things,
Strap you in place.
strap you in place,
And then the mic comes down like in front of you.
Yeah.
To your chin.
It's all robotic and
It's
lots
like
of presents.
it's like they like strap you in like you're getting eye surgery done or something, so nothing on you can move, and you're just like fucking. We pull the lips back and the eyes wide open, and I don't know why we do that. It's better for your diaphragm, I guess.
Clockwork Orange.
Yeah,
you have to set up mirrors in front of everyone so you can look in a mirror and actually see someone who's on your peripherals.
That's right.
Once we reach those Patreon goals, oh baby, it's gonna be exciting.
Peripheral mirrors,
That's
only
right.
$100 away.
Oh, mercy. Gentlemen, we had our first ever TRWL event. The Talking Reckless Wrestling League, Twitch's premier live video game wrestling league.
Isn't that shit fake?
Our thing? No. It's surprisingly unfake. Welcome to the first podcast in the era of Noah North. Champion. Noah North. Newcomer to the TRWL.
Right.
The person who had the most points in our Twitch chat.
Masked luchador.
Yes. He's a masked competitor, not so much a luchador.
Oh, I thought he was going to be a luchador.
I incorrectly said luchador. What I meant was they
Had
would
a
wear
mask.
masks. Yeah.
Doesn't that
601.
isn't that pretty much the same thing?
I no. I think it's
No?
like a style, isn't it? It's a little bit of a.
Yeah, luchador is a style, but almost everyone who does it has a mask, and
Yeah.
almost no one who wears a mask doesn't do it,
It's very true.
except for Kane
Because masks suck.
and Mick Foley. Those two men are not luchadors.
Personality disorder number 5 is lucha. Yeah, we had our first event. Was not fake. Noah unexpectedly, little inside baseball, did not have as high of stats as the superstars. Nobody thought he would win.
I would never have insided baseball. That
man entered at well, I'm getting into it. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's all part of the work, brother.
Right.
Anyways, against all odds, won the title. So the title is now in Cleveland, Ohio.
Well, let's just say it wasn't against all odds.
I had my hand in there, maybe.
No, we had a little handshake agreement before we went on to have our match.
This is Doink Daddy Kev.
Doink Daddy Kev, yeah.
Right.
Him and Noah. Little handshake agreement. Doink doesn't like DDK. He doesn't like ladder matches.
Okay.
Because, picking up the legs and climbing up the ladder.
It's very high risk on a competitor's body, too.
Yeah, it's very high risk, and it pinches in a way that DDK doesn't like.
Yeah.
And so he just said, you know what, I'll throw the ladder match. I'll give it to you. But I want number 1 contender slot.
Wow.
Wow.
We hear it here now.
So, Noah agreed. Whether or not the commissioner is going to agree, I don't know about that, because
I don't even know if we have a commissioner.
He wasn't in the room at the time.
No, we haven't even seen him. He just hands down orders from on high.
Yeah, so who knows what's going to happen. But in DDK's head,
wow.
he's
So we finally
he's number 1 contender.
The finish, the DDK seemingly just backing down the ladder, seemingly just handing Noah the match for some reason.
Well,
20 seconds after it started.
Like I said, DDK got a little pinch in the balls when he was climbing the ladder, and he just said, well, I'm not climbing that ladder. I got things are out of place.
We need wider ladders.
We do need wider ladders.
Again, it's all part of the Patreon goals, wider ladders. And, our next event is going to be next month in September. Commission's still working on the date. We'll let you know as soon as we have that ironed out. But it's going to be called Resolution. We're going to get some answers, I think. Hopefully figure out exactly what happened and what will happen as Noah North defends his title.
What else happened on that show? What was the undercard looking like?
Goodness.
How did my boy Silver Standard do?
Competed admirably. Competed very admirably.
He's known for that.
Came to a
Competing
solid second place
admirably.
finish.
That's right. That's right. The never winning streak remained intact.
I thought this would be the league that really turned that boy around.
He's seems like he has a gimmick and seems to be sticking to it for the most part. Warren Barris interfered in Matty Diaz's match. Matty Diaz returned the favor and got Warren Barris DQ'd during his match against Noah.
That was out of nowhere. No one saw that coming.
Man should not have fucked with me.
The announcers were freaking out too because they see Matt E. Diaz come to the ring and start attacking Noah. And they're like, what the hell is he doing? Like, Warren Barris is the one who screwed up his match.
Yep.
He should be attacking Warren Barris. Turns out it was a work because he got Warren disqualified.
And then Noah went on to win the championship.
Oh, shit. Maybe there was a handshake agreement between Matty Diaz and Noah North.
We'll find out next month at Resolution. If you haven't seen that first TRWL event, go look it up. It was dope. It was a huge culmination of time and effort by a lot of folks. So go enjoy it. I will say that our green screen works fine for one person. Not so good with 2 people. Really not so good when those people are big. And Warren and I were just sandwiched in sardines trying to fucking...
It was glorious when you showed the belt. Oh man, the green screen did not showing the belt.
Like the belt.
We got a couple production things.
I like the microphone that leaves a hole in your face.
Yeah, we were having a couple green screen issues, but we're gonna change some things up with production for the next one. It's gonna be a lot more work, but it's gonna look way better, I think.
So speaking of more work, tell me about the expanding roster.
Oh, well, Kevin, glad you asked. Over on our Patreon, patreon.com/Talking Reckless Podcast, now the top 2 tiers of the Patreon are tied into the TRWL. So the top tier, you get a superstar. Same stats as everybody in there, as the superstars, I should say. Gets your likeness.
Which clearly you don't need.
Your face. Yes, apparently. You get to choose a finishing move, entrance track, customize your entrance. It's your competitor. You get final say on everything. If you're a tier below that, you get a jobber. I'm going to decide the name. They're going to wear a mask. Going to have a really generic entrance because I don't got time to make 10 million, So if you want to get into the TRWL, and just goes to show our first event, anything can happen. Anyone can win the title right now out in Cleveland, Ohio. Noah North said he took it to the wilderness of Virginia, I believe, for 2 days after his competition just to reflect and commune with the spirits type of thing. So
Excellent.
So what you're saying is it's going to come back and it's going to have squirrel shit all over.
Yeah,
it.
it's going to actually be wicker. He's going to have a wicker, replace the leather with wicker, and it's going to be real dope. That's up for right now. Go look it up. TRWL Undisputed was the name of that first event. It's everywhere. YouTube, Twitch, all over the place. It was a lot of fun.
We still can't help but dispute these champions.
Yes.
no matter what we do.
The commentators bring that up a couple times. Like, what, for an event called Undisputed? Super fun, though. Super duper fun. Another one coming next month. Video games, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like them?
Depends on the day.
Yeah, me too, actually.
What about today?
I haven't played them,
So
which
feeling
means I do
pretty good
like
on
them. Yes.
I played, you know what? I'm going to go first. Today, I played No Man's Sky. Big update came out called the Beyond update, I believe.
What is new?
Oh, boy. That's a hard question for me to answer because I just got in with this new update. But I think a lot of things, like the base building is supposed to be entirely new. The multiplayer is supposed to be entirely new.
I know, because when I was back in for the next update,
which I believe
was like
the
about a year
second
ago
or third or
so.
something like that.
Yeah, it was like I think the third, or actually I want to say third or fourth big update. Probably third, but yeah, I'm pretty sure base building was in at that point. I was playing around with it, and it seemed like it kind of sucked still. So maybe they revamped it into this one and made it better again, but
it seems fine now. There were a couple issues today that it turned out to be me. Well, the game doesn't tell you jack shit.
Yes.
The tutorials and the onboarding are totally new. But it doesn't tell you jack shit still. It's like, here's how to fly your ship. Use the stick. R is go, L is not go. All right. Have fun.
Yeah, see you in 20 hours when we have to tell you about this one other obscure thing that we don't think you need to know.
So I don't really understand a lot of the systems even yet. I'm still kind of discovering a lot of it, which is, I think, a lot of the fun. But apparently everything pretty much is new from the sounds of it. I will say it seems buggy as hell.
It's unfortunate for how long that's been out.
I think
4
every
years.
version of that game is just buggy as hell, because I remember game crashing to console on PS4 when I was playing it the last time.
It's even more fucked on a console.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like crashing on a PC, you kind of expect a little bit of, but like crashing on your PS4 or Xbox, like what? Come on, you guys. Shot my first Space Pirate today. Game immediately crashed. Crashed my whole computer. Didn't just crash the game. Took the stream down, took the computer down, took the whole fucking apartment down with it.
That fucking guy that you killed is where all the data is stored.
It must have been. I think, and it might just be the multiplayer actually, because I was playing solo and it seemed okay, like a little hitchy here and there. And then today, trying to get into somebody else's game was when I was having nothing but problems. But it seems neat. I just don't know what to do. I don't know what I should be doing. Like,
is it one of those games where you're supposed to do? Like, I know you're supposed to do stuff, but is it?
Well, there is a story. There is a story.
Man.
So
yeah, I'm kind of finding my way to the center of the universe.
Yeah.
I think, kind of.
I remember when I stopped was, and this might be spoilers. I don't know.
It's probably fine.
Yeah,
I don't give
do you want to know?
I don't care. Tell me.
So I think you need to learn a bunch of letters in one of these languages to like trigger another one of the cutscenes.
So to start the game, you only speak whatever English, common.
Sure.
All the races in the world speak like the Gek speak Gek. I don't know the rest of the races, but they all speak their own race.
Yeah, I want to say there's like 4 or 5 different languages.
And it seems like they have, I don't know, 10,000 words each, because I've found, I know the Gek word for Gek and the Gek word for like do or something.
Yeah.
So in their speech now, it's all garbled nonsense, and it's like do in green, because I understand that, and then garbled nonsense and Gek, and I'm like, okay.
Kind of a neat idea.
And the way you get new words is like sometimes you can talk to an NPC and they'll know a word and they'll give it to you. They'll be like, "Hey, you're kind of trying to learn my language. Here's a word for you." I mean, they can teach us that.
How do they explain all that?
I know, right? How do you teach someone one word? I mean, I guess beer can.
Yeah.
I like the idea of someone doing beer can and then being like, "Now go."
Yeah,
that's all you get.
The person I learned a word from, they drew it on their tablet. They had like an iPad, and then they drew a picture and turned it around, and I learned the word for whatever.
Sure.
That's actually kind of cool. I don't think that was in the game when I was learning words.
And
that's
then
how they do it with babies now.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And then I went and talked to another person in that same station, being like, "Well, I'm just gonna get I'm gonna learn the language while I'm up here." And that person would not. It said like I did not have a high enough relationship with them. But there seems to be like a gifting system because there's a give gifts option with every single NPC I've met in the entire game, and I've met thousands in my 5 hours playing. It is crazy. It's so fucking nuts.
I think a lot of them, and this is based on how I think it was back when I played. But for the most part, you're like giving gifts to the faction. So like if you're giving gifts to Geth, it's like to all the Geth.
It's actually Gek. I have
Whatever.
that problem also because Mass Effect is Geth.
I don't
It
like
matters.
either of those games.
Listen, it matters. All right. If we were talking about Star Trek and I was saying Barg or something,
Nah, that's true.
You'd be
I
like,
I
"Hey,
would,
dude,
I would
come
be
on."
coming over the table.
Put a stop to this.
Clintons.
Just as evil.
Yeah, so like, yeah, so many things to do, and I just don't know. Like, I'm slowly making my way to the center of the galaxy, kind of like, you know, you kind of find a new piece of the map. It's like jump to this planet because you have sort of a limited jump distance. But at the same time, I'm also building a base, which as I'm getting farther from the base, it is harder to get back to the base, even though you can kind of have some limited teleportation.
You should live out of your ship.
Well, and that's also part of it is people are like, well, just build a base on your ship. And I'm like, what the fuck? My ship is tiny. What are you even talking about? And apparently there are huge freighters you can get. And like, I found the multiplayer hub, which was real dope, where like I'm just flying through space. And this huge like planetoid, this thing all made of metal, like jumps
Death
in.
Star.
Like, yeah, exactly. A Death Star just like jumps in like this really cool effect where it's like this like little pinprick of light. And you're like, what's happening? And then this whole fucking Death Star appears. And you're just like, well,
Here we are.
I'm
Yep.
either dead or
turned out they were cool. Turned out that's the multiplayer hub, which is actually really neat, where you kind of like you can call this multiplayer hub to you no matter where you are in space. But it's an instance, so everybody is calling it to them separately in space, which is kind of neat. And then you sort of meet in this kind of like other dimension.
Weird.
But like I just don't. I don't know. There's 10 different tech trees, and some of them are about base building, and you can upgrade your suit, and you can upgrade your ship, and you can upgrade your tool, and you can buy different ships. And some dude in the multiplayer hub gave me 80 million credits today, and I started just buying shit left, right, and center. There's an economy where as you sell iron, the price of iron goes down for everyone because the supply of iron is increasing, and like there's so much that I just don't even know where to begin, really.
That game seems like it takes all of your time to dig into.
yeah.
Totally. To
the royal you
understand.
again.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally. But it's cool. Like I'm very much enjoying the. It seems like it is finally kind of the initial promise of that game when they show that trailer of like, I'm flying down to a planet. They're all so far been like incredibly unique. And like I found one with pink grass, which was real dope, and like seeing the different wildlife. And you're like, oh, that's a weird creature. Like they all look you can tell they're all pre-generated in a way where like, oh, I recognize those bat wings that I saw on this other thing over here. They all kind of look like spore creations that have been just
Pieces kind of all been glued onto the same thing.
totally.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it in game, but I've seen images or footage of it. Apparently there are like giant sandworms on one planet, like huge like dune-like creatures that come in and out of the sand, and it seems like there's some really weird and unique stuff in there, which is kind of what I'm sort of excited for. That's sort of what my drive right now is.
That's good they got there.
Yeah.
'Cause I know that was a bumpy road for them.
Totally. It was like 4 years. This game came out in 3 years. 2016
Right.
was when No Man's Sky came out. So it's been quite a journey, and they have a ways to go. They gotta like their multiplayer is really rough right now, really buggy, really. Well, I guess just buggy and.
Fuck, I
crashy.
remember when I saw that game at E3, and it just blew everyone's mind.
Yeah, they do like the planet or the ship on the planet just going up into space, flying around, landing on the other planet.
Yeah.
And you can do that now, and
Right.
like doing that for the first time is super fucking cool. And you're like, okay, I totally get it. I understand the appeal. Just please God, I need a sign of like, I just need like you do have a quest log, but mine is like, get to the center of the galaxy or universe, which is not super helpful.
Right.
A little bit of breadcrumbing would be awesome. I don't know. You got any? It's kind of it's the world's biggest.
It's tough
game.
for me
I feel
because
like
I didn't ever get on.
Yeah.
I heard it wasn't really what people were looking for, and then I didn't follow the updates, and I kept telling myself every update I was like, well, maybe I'll check in like a year or something.
Yeah.
But
It seems like if you
I've
are
missed
holding
the boat.
off, it seems like if you were waiting, like I was totally waiting for whatever the big one was and decided this was it for me. It seems like this is kind of they're talking about it like it might be their last one of this scale. Obviously, they're going to continue supporting the game and stuff, but the way they're talking about it, it seems like they have got there finally.
yeah.
Which, man, remember the way that game launched? Remember how Sean Murray was out there talking, Hello Games, the developer of this, was out there talking about how confirming, people asking point blank, does this game have multiplayer? And him being like, yes, it does. And then that game came out and did not have multiplayer.
Nope.
Like, what the it's crazy.
Bold.
Crazy.
You would have got out in front of it and just looked him in the eye.
It all just depends on how you define multiplayer, right?
Sure. Multiple people are playing.
Yes.
You're not wrong.
All at the same time.
If you mean any sort of interconnectivity, no, we don't have that.
No, it's multiplayer to the extent that any video game ever made is multiplayer as long as more than one person somewhere is playing
That's
it.
right.
You could find things named by other people, though.
There you
It
go.
was just, you could never find those people.
Oh, okay. And maybe that's kind of how they...
that's how they... well, technically it's multiplayer because
you're not
your
wrong.
world is being affected by other people.
But like I know in those early videos, he talks about how like you could go extinct an entire planet. You could go wipe out all the life on a planet, kill every animal, and then another player would land on that planet, and it would be this desert, extinct place that you affected previously. And
That would take a long time.
yeah, I don't think you can do that now. I don't think that'd be possible in the game now.
I mean, maybe.
It doesn't feel, the planets don't feel like they have a real ecosystem where like, I blocked off this water source or whatever, so now all these animals will die. They very much feel like they're just planted.
You would
here
have
and
to
there.
go around physically and kill every
Zapping.
animal on the entire planet.
I wonder if they respawn.
I don't know.
You cannot dig all the way through a planet. Huge bummer. Huge bummer. You can
What do
barely
you run into?
There's just like a layer of bedrock you can't get through, like black stone. You can't even really. You can go down pretty far, but not like.
Not even impressively far.
No. Like I'm talking like maybe 15 seconds.
Right.
Not so far that like when I got to the bottom, I like had to look up the hole and be like, well, that was fucking stupid. Which is kind of what I was.
But you were at
hoping
least
for.
looking up at the hole.
Yeah, it's
Like
like
if I laid on my belly in front of the hole, could I see the top of your head?
if you laid on your belly in front of the hole. What?
Could I see the top of your head with you in the hole?
Like from the probably
I'm
not.
laying on the
Probably
ground.
not.
Okay.
It'd be if I had a light, or maybe you could. I sort of don't
This
understand.
hole?
If I had a light, if I was like shining a light up, you could probably see the light because it's just
Okay.
a hole into
Right.
the earth.
No, but I'm looking like across the hole. Like I'm looking across the ground. I'm laying on the ground.
Yeah.
There's a hole in front of me. I'm looking straight ahead over the hole. Can I see your head?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I sort of don't understand. I
So-
just dug a hole straight down, trying
sorry,
to go into
The
hang
hole is
on.
at least 6
Hang-
feet deep.
hang on.
At least
Is
6
the
feet.
hole-
Oh
taller
yes,
than you.
yes. Okay, yes it is. Yes,
Yeah.
it's probably. If I had to guess, I'd say like 100 feet or like 75 feet or
Trying
something.
to paint you a word picture.
Yes, I'm like, you're lying flat on your what?
Yeah. I thought it made sense in my head.
It made sense to me.
Got
Yeah.
I understand.
blue
what you mean.
shoes on. And, yeah, it is deeper than you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the size of a human being. That's a pretty deep hole.
it is a pretty deep
Not
hole,
a- on
but
a
it is
planetary
not-
level,
It is not
but-
if you want to like say maybe try and hollow out a planet and make like a Dyson
Mm-hmm.
sphere or something, you can't. You can't. I've been having a good time with it though.
Sure.
Banging my head against some of it. It just has like weird things it doesn't tell you about. Just like storage containers can only go on Earth, not on your constructed base. So I'm building this base on the top of this spire, and it's this fucking dread castle. It's very cool, actually. But can't put storage containers in it because storage containers have to go on ground. And like, well, if only I would have known this 5 hours ago.
Subnautica now.
Yeah, the building is a lot like Subnautica. Actually, that's a great way to think about it. It's a little bit more freeform than Subnautica. You can kind of put whatever you want wherever you want, which is fun. It's cool though. It's very cool. I see myself spending some good amount of hours in it. It's also half off on Steam right now if that's a thing you're into.
I think between Outer Wild and the Outer Wilds, I have my space exploration quota met for this year.
It hits a lot of the same notes. I'll say the ship in Outer Wilds I think is way more fun to fly.
Oh, fucking that ship's great.
Yeah, it's so
That's
arcadey.
maybe my favorite ship I've ever flown.
It's so arcadey in No Man's Sky that it's basically impossible to crash. It's basically it doesn't feel great.
Yeah. Oh, just the
Outer Wilds ship, you can
the
fucking
moment you can't recreate the moment that you realize that you crunched the artificial numbers wrong and that you're coming in way too hot. And even when you go like full thrusters away from the planet, you're like, the planet is coming at me at like 1,000 kilometers an hour. It's not even my speed that's the problem at this point.
Space is so whack.
Yeah.
You ever play Kerbal Space Program, Kevin?
Absolutely.
Did you ever like get off Kerbin?
Earth?
Yeah, Earth.
Kerbin.
Yes, I made it to Duna one time, but
Oh,
I did
shit.
not make the return trip.
That's super
I
far.
did not make the return trip.
Which one's
Duna's
Duna?
the second planet.
I only made it to the Mun and did not
Oh.
make the return trip.
Did you make it to Minmus, the second Mun?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I was trying to get back from the Mun and could never.
Yeah.
Turns out spaceflight is real. Like that game, unironically, completely changed the way I think about space and objects in space. And like, it is the fact that we put someone on the moon is fucking crazy. Crazy.
It's apparently really easy to put someone on the
No.
moon, though. Yeah.
I mean, now it is because you know the answer to the
Well,
equation.
yeah, you just put the things in Kerbal Space Program and it just is like, do this. But it's like,
You can simulate anything.
yeah, it's two things in space flying around each other at hundreds of, I don't know, thousands of kilometers per second. That's probably way too fast. 300 meters per second. Yeah, that's way too fast.
Yeah.
Say per hour. And also they're fucking spinning incredibly fast. And while you're on your way, other things. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy that everybody should play a little Kerbal Space Program.
Getting to the moon is actually pretty simple.
Mun.
M-U-N.
Either way.
M-U-n.
The moon and,
I
and
see.
the mun.
And the
we're
mun?
we're
Yeah.
talking about real life.
Actually, one of the ways to get to the mun in Kerbal Space Program.
There's a real twang on the end of it.
in Kerbal Space Program is actually like the same way that they did the Apollo 11 mission.
Which is?
So once you're in orbit, you wait until you have like done a full orbit kind of thing, and you point yourself directly at the horizon, perpendicular or parallel to the surface of the planet.
Okay.
Laying
And
on your
then
belly.
Laying on your belly. That's right. As soon as you see the moon/mun crest around its orbit, you just hammer on your thrusters until you get there.
Is that the most efficient way, do you think? Or is that just kind of like how we...
It's definitely not the most efficient way because like it doesn't take into consideration like apoapsis and periapsis
those
and
are good words.
where the closest orbit paths are.
It's so
But
wild, man.
You'd think the most efficient way would be to shoot straight there, and then when you get close, to fucking 180 and just fucking land that sumbitch bottom down.
Yeah.
Well, I bet the most efficient way would be, because the Earth is spinning, is like you kind of ride the
slingshot.
momentum of the Earth, and that's when you start getting to other planets, and
Yeah.
you got to kind of like
this in Armageddon.
slingshot around things. It's so nuts, dude. So fucking nuts.
Is that Armageddon they slingshot?
Yeah, around the moon.
Around the moon.
Yeah.
Sorry, the mun.
The mun. Yeah. Well, Armageddon is the moon. Armageddon takes
We
place.
don't know,
Armageddon's
but-
a real
well.
story. It's a real. It happened. Okay?
I think it's
They're
up for
heroes.
artistic interpretation.
They're heroes.
Bruce
based,
Willis is a Kerbal.
based on a true story.
There's a really cool Kerbal mod that turns the solar system into the Earth solar system. Yeah. So you're actually going to all the Earth planets, and they edit it so that the moons are all like the moons of all the Earth planets and everything.
Is there a Star Wars one? Can I go to the fourth moon of Endor?
I don't think there's. I mean, there could be. I have no idea, but
Kerbals hate Star Wars. It's proven.
yeah,
Star Trek.
makes sense for life.
No Man's Sky was the first game that I talked about, and then took us off on a tangent through space. To
Talk a little about Outer Wilds, Kerbal.
Outer Wilds in there. Any other space games you guys like? Mass Effect DLC's on sale. This is a real PSA. Mass Effect DLC goes on sale exactly once a year. It is now on Origin. If you're looking to buy it, like I was, now's the time.
Do it.
I finally have the Mass Effect 3 DLC again after all those years of owning it on Xbox. Fucking crazy that they want you to pay $60 for the DLC. Absolutely crazy.
How much
Absolutely crazy.
DLC? That's Leviathan.
It's like 4 packs, yeah. Leviathan, Citadel, Omega, is that one? There were 4.
Are these all story DLCs?
I think so. And then they listed off. There's like a bunch of multiplayer shit that I just didn't even look at. But I think it sounded like 15 or something.
I remember Leviathan was crazy because it was very good, but it was also changed the nature of that game in a way where it was like
Oh shit.
the real ending didn't even really matter.
Is that all the DLCs for $60 or?
Normal price, yeah.
Yeah.
For on sale was like 15. So
It always makes me disgusted every time like I look at like the Sims DLCs and stuff like that, because every single one of them is the cost of the full game. Like when I bought Sims 4 was $60, and every single expansion pack for that game is $60.
when you bought Sims 4 for the second time.
For the second time, yeah, for the second time.
Yeah, they're on sale now. So if you were waiting, like I was. No, I own them all on PC. All the DLC on PC. Finally, great. Can't wait to play that third game again.
Leviathan.
Yeah, Citadel.
I can't remember what happens in any of those other ones.
Citadel shooting bottles with Garrus, like
No,
hanging
that's
out.
a loyalty mission.
That's just in the game.
That's in 2, I think.
That's definitely not in 2.
It's 3 in 3.
Yeah.
I think it's just a loyalty mission. Then, but I'm
Yeah,
not
I don't
positive.
remember. I'm the worst at remembering that. I remember the 2 ones. Okay, Shadow Broker and that weird AI one where the dude was like in the. They made him into that
Yeah,
AI machine thing, and he's got his like he's Clockwork Orange. His eyes are open.
Overwatch. Is that what that was called? Or is that the video game that I'm just thinking of?
Might be right. I don't remember. Kevin.
Arrival.
Matt.
Arrival. I think that's it. That is a DLC. Whether that's the DLC, I don't know.
The one with the character, the Prothean.
That's 3. That's
what we're talking about.
From Ashes.
From Ashes, which is one of the DLCs that you're getting for $60.
In 3, yes.
Yes.
Yes. You play any... Oh, I also play Killzone 2. It's a bad game. Don't worry about it. It's a fine game. Has anyone here ever played Killzone 2?
No.
I don't know that I've played Killzone 1 through 4.
I've never played 1, but I've played 3 and Shadowfall. Killzone 2, first-person shooter. It was Sony's answer to Halo. Mm-hmm. They very infamously had a completely pre-rendered E3 trailer at E3 2005, which they claimed until 2017 that it was real gameplay. Mm-hmm. Finally, in 2017, they're like, we didn't even have the PS3s, you guys. It's totally rendered. That's a real story, by the way. They did not have the PS3 dev kits.
You shouldn't lie.
Anyways, all these years later,
holding on to that lie for so long is
like
admirable.
at some point you're a coward if you give up.
You just wait for the Killzone franchise to completely be irrelevant like it is now.
It's gotta suck to go that far and be like, surely at some point people will stop caring.
Well, I don't know. In that story, they justified by because it wasn't the people making the trailer who were out there like, this is real gameplay. It was they put out a pre-rendered trailer and the folks presenting were like, everything you're seeing on stage today, real gameplay or whatever. And the way they sort of justified not getting in front of it was like, it was so obviously pre-rendered. Like, we just thought people would, of course, call us on our bullshit immediately. and here we are 12 years later. 14 now.
Turns out they did call us on it immediately. We just ignored them all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That game runs and I've completely forgotten, that game runs like under 15 frames a second for the entire fucking thing. That game runs so fucking bad, and is otherwise a very fine first-person shooter campaign. They do some interesting 3, they do some interesting stuff. You got to play 2 to know where 3's coming from. 3's okay, but 2, you're like, okay, there's a part in the middle where it's space Nazis. The Helgen are space Nazis. Yep. The ISA are like space allies, at least as it's kind of represented. There's a part in that game where one of the space Nazis nukes his own city, and you're like, okay, that's the game is under the threat of the threat of nuclear attack is kind of overhanging the entire game. And partway through, he nukes his own city, and they sort of never go into why. You kind of interpret like, oh, he wanted to be a martyr, I guess, and like motivate the people, maybe. But he just nukes his own city.
People are dead.
Well, lots of people are dead. Very much in a way that we played Modern Warfare 2 last week. There's a part in there where Price just launches a nuke over the U.S. and never fucking says why.
Out of the sub.
It goes out of the sub, and they're like, Price, the nukes are going off! And there's just you can't hear anything, and then he says, good. And the fucking nuke blows up over America.
Didn't he say something about like starting a fire or starting
about that? Yeah. Yes, but you're never.
Arthur.
Yeah, basically.
It was. I think that is exactly what his motivation was.
You're never really sure what his motivation is. It felt like there was just a few years they were like, if our game doesn't have a nuke going off, is it really that real?
That's one where he's in the sub. He launched it from the sub. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the only one in the sub, and you're like defending the sub, and someone's calling the whole time like the missile doors are opening, Price, and he's just no-selling you. Yeah. And they never go into why. I looked up why he launches that nuke in Modern Warfare 2. There's no good answer. It's like the best answer people come up with is like, the Russians were kind of winning the war on the electrical, like on the machinery front, so he knew he had to EMP them.
It's just all fan fiction about why it happened.
It is. It totally is. It totally is. There's no good reason.
Right.
Price deserves everything he gets in that game. What if he fucking nuked the States? What a fucker.
He was not the hero we thought he was.
He was not the hero we thought he was.
Should have left him in that gulag.
Prisoner 627. You think he'll launch another nuke in the Modern Warfare reboot?
I think he's going to be the bad guy.
Oh, that'd be good. Yep. That'd be really good. Shit. That's like, I don't watch trailers. I wish I had never had that thought.
Wait, hold on.
It's not based on anything. I have not seen a trailer or anything.
This guy launched a nuke at America.
Yeah.
And he's not the bad guy?
No, he saves America.
I think
because
he
nuking
is the
America
bad guy.
saves America.
No, it turns out America's the bad guy.
That's what I was going to say. He is the bad guy, but I think we were all at a point in our lives where we were willing to be the bad guy with him.
Yeah.
Thus making us think we were all the good guy.
That game that is one of my favorite like first-person shooter campaigns. It makes no fucking sense. Where like the American general sent Price in to betray him, but then Price launched the nuke, and then the American general was like, well, he's a war criminal, he launched a nuke, but then the Russians, it makes no fucking sense. Also, there's a guy mowing down airports.
His name?
I think
Markov.
Makarov. Yeah. Makarov's a whore. Also, Lance. I completely am blanking on his name. Bishop from Alien. He's in Detroit. Lance Hendrick?
Yes.
Maybe?
Lance Storm.
Lance Storm is.
Yes, Lance Storm.
That's right.
Hero of Calgary.
Is. Who's Lance Storm?
He's a wrestler.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's his gimmick was like being super generic and boring.
Oh, okay.
And
He was good at being
generic
and
it was
boring.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah, Lance Hendrick plays Shepard, which I always forget. Star-studded cast. Keith David rolls with you. The Whiskey Hotel.
Whiskey Hotel's a good level.
White House.
Yeah, that's when I got that.
Can't call it that.
I learned that from you.
No.
That's all I played. Bangers of video games. Kevin, what about you?
Speaking of space games,
Okay.
the full release of Oxygen Not Included came out.
Oh shit!
I don't
remember
know.
you guys telling me about that game.
I don't know when it came out, but I know
Very
it was
recently,
at
like
least
couple weeks.
in the last couple weeks. Yeah. So I kind of got back into that.
How's it going?
Have lost a few colonies
Wow.
to starvation and
Space is a brutal place.
general running out of oxygen.
Did you remember to think about your periapsis and apoapsis? I think I said those
Both
right.
good, both good words. Yes. Not in this game, no. So this is like a base building game where you have kind of like Dwarf Fortress kind of thing, or
Like it's I call them ant farm.
Yeah.
Kind of. I don't know if that's a real thing, but it's on the side. It's like a vertical slice. So you're going up and down instead of on a north, east, southwest.
yeah.
Yeah.
But so yeah, you build your base, you dig out little tunnels and build structures and doors and stuff and various buildings.
Sure.
The last time I played that game, I don't even know how many updates have come out since then. But I was really proud of myself because I got through all of the research tree in 7 days. When the last time I played that game was
7 days game time or 7 days like
game
real
time.
life? Okay.
Yeah, game time. So that's no time at all.
Yeah, it's very, very
Needless
quick.
to say. And like they've expanded the research tree to a point where I just don't have time to do research. I just need those people to be doing other things. Like I have to schedule, okay, like I need to do this, and this, and then I can research something.
Got to get yourself one of those people who's awake all night and then make them research all night.
See, I could change everyone's schedules to have like a night shift so that I'm not just down during the night kind of thing. But I don't have enough people for that right now.
Plus, no one wants to do that night shift.
No, it sucks.
Well, I mean, they don't have a choice.
It takes,
Yeah, but you want to be a good boss.
if it's anything like RimWorld or Dwarf Fortress or like a lot of these similar kind of genre games, RimWorld and Dwarf Fortress both if you're working at night, you take a big morality penalty.
Oh, really?
Just like real life. I've worked night shift and it just fucking sucks.
I had some
But
convenience store graveyard shift once.
get
I wanted to
that-
kill myself.
Get that big money though.
No.
Only time I worked night
$2
shift.
extra an hour.
Only time I worked night shift was when I was working at the casino, and it was like an extra $30 an hour. In tips.
Oh, I don't even count that.
And
Yeah,
no one
fuck
even
that.
fucking know it's night when you're in the
Yeah,
casino.
no, I did night shift at the casino. That doesn't count because, like Randall says, you can't even see the sun. You're like, it says, the clock says 2. That might be PM. I don't know.
There is no clock.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm currently somewhere around day 30ish right now, working on getting myself a secure food source. And once
30 is pretty good. Like 30, you've made it past the initial kind of you have survived and built.
I
things
got
and-
some stuff, got a
Yeah.
couple extra people, got my oxygen being built.
It wasn't included, you see. So
No,
you had to
had to build
BYO.
it. Had
Concoct
to
it.
build it. So yeah, I'm working on getting my food secure. Once I do that, I can schedule someone for research to research a natural gas refinery because I have a natural gas geyser close to my base, which I think I'm going to use to power my base.
Oh shit!
The only bad part about that is once I get the natural gas geyser going, it's going to produce a lot of polluted water
Carbon dioxide,
something
maybe?
else.
Burning.
Nitrogen, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, bad things. Burning natural gas has to make bad things.
Other bad things.
Hydrogen you can
So,
use though. Hydrogen.
I
is
have to
bad.
figure out how to then clean the polluted water. But you can't just scrub your polluted water and make it water. You have to get the germs out of it first, so it doesn't become germy regular water. Because apparently germs is something they added to the game. So you can have water that is pure clean water, which is good, which is what you want.
Absolutely.
Polluted water.
You could also have polluted water,
which is yellow.
but you could also have good water, which is germy, and polluted water, which is germy, which is just another layer of your people are going to get sick.
So theoretically, someone could drink germy, non-polluted water and maybe not get sick, assuming they have the best immune system known to man.
I think so.
Hypothetically.
But apparently one of the ways to get rid of germy water is to like store it in these bins in like a very chlorinated atmosphere because the chlorine will kill the germs.
Okay.
So oxygen not included is a lot about fluid and gas physics, where like oxygen weighs less than carbon dioxide. So all the oxygen is going to the top of your base, all the CO2 is going to the bottom of your base.
Right.
Yeah.
If you have your beds at the bottom of the base, people suffocate because all the CO2 goes down. So it is a lot of like these gases and liquids all have weights and all mingle and interact in different ways, and there are 10,000 different texts for every one of them about like regulating temperature and pressure, and it is so complex.
I don't think I'd like this game, but I like the idea of this game.
So do I.
That's my thing too, because every time I get into it, like you say, I really like the idea of this game, oxygen not included. But there's moments where like every time I get back into it, it's because I've watched like 10 to 15 hours of YouTube videos about, okay, here's the tutorials of how to get all these systems up and running. Because like Matt was saying, there's like, I don't entirely know how many different gases there are, but there's like 8 to 10 different gases, and they all do different things, and they all affect your people different way if they're exposed to it. I lost one of my bases because I dug up this one room, and there was a saltwater geyser there, and my entire water supply got contaminated with salt water, so my people couldn't drink it anymore.
It's very much one of those like build a colony, fail, see why you failed. Usually, it's pretty obvious of like too much salt water or whatever.
Yeah.
Is there a way to like not like it wasn't just surprise? Here's a geyser and you're fucked.
Oh no, you're right. I knew the geyser was there.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of plants in a chamber right below where the salt water was that I wanted to get to. So I dug into that. But because the saltwater geyser is producing salt water at a fixed rate or whatever, it filled up the room it was in to a certain extent where the water was now too heavy to be supported by the blocks that were underneath the water. The blocks underneath the water crumbled.
Then the plants are gone.
It's very cool. It's very cool.
That does sound really neat,
and
actually.
Like, you're meant to fail and kind of restart over and over and over again.
I feel like I had this exact same mindset when we talked about this last time, where I was like, that sounds fucking dope. I'm gonna watch someone play that.
Yeah, exactly. It's very cool, like you say, to watch someone play who knows all the systems. It's very, very hard to learn all the systems yourself.
Yes.
So kind of like No Man's Sky, where you could put hundreds and hundreds of hours into it and be nowhere. This feels like the same type of game where like I could put in 100 hours into this game, but I don't know if I would be able, like without the tutorial videos for sure, I would not be able to play this game because it's all too complicated for me.
It's just how you start. You watch a few tutorials and you follow them. You're like, okay, I get this. Now I'm going to start doing my own thing. And
like really,
I have faith in you. You could get it. 100 hours, no problem.
The only way that the way that I've kind of been playing is, and that's kind of why my research technique is working for me. So I'll like research something, and then I'll like try to incorporate the thing that I researched into my base. So
that's way smarter than unlike I just research whatever the fucking random shit and never use it. And I'm like, oh god, I need to make food. I didn't research food.
So I've recently done showers and latrines. So I'm going to try and get, I have to get a clean water source. I have to get a way to refine my polluted water that is produced from the shower and the latrines. And then I have to find a way to clean that polluted water and cycle it back into the regular water source. And then once I have all that done, then I can think about moving on to something else.
And that's just the showers and the latrines.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of other stuff.
This sounds really neat.
It's very cool. And like, each colony you make, it gets a little farther. But yeah,
it's on PC?
Yeah. The objective of the game is to, at least, well, one of the objectives of the game, apparently there's a few different ways to, quote, win. I don't know if there's like a credit screen or something that happens once you get to these win conditions, but one of the ways to win is to dig up to the surface of the planet, because you crash land on a planet, your escape pod somehow like bores into the center of the planet, and you get stuck in the center of the planet is essentially what the thing is, and you have to
You're kind of spider
build a
out
way
from there,
out from there. So one of the ways to win is to get to the surface and build a rocket ship so that you can get off the planet.
Oh. I've been playing Auction Not Included this entire time and sort of thought it was just like, I don't know, you just survive as long as you can.
I do think there's another win condition where you build like something
Super research
in
thing.
your base or something that makes it like a self-sustaining colony or something. I don't know.
Honestly, if you just live long enough to die of old age, that's a win.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
You're not
there you
doing
go.
bad.
I don't think
did duplicates die of old age?
I don't think they can die of old
Yeah,
age.
they're
No.
genetic
What
clones.
a horrid
so-
existence.
They're genetic clones, and you can like recycle their stats if you don't want them. It's like, oh, Brando's gassy, huh? I don't know anybody. One of them is
If
for real.
only it was that easy.
One of them is for real farting or whatever. You don't want people farting because then they're
Yeah.
filling your base, which
With
only
farts.
is with farts. And
Yeah.
you get too many farts.
It's hitting too close to home.
You can have people vomit on the floor, and then somebody else will walk by and they'll step in the vomit, and it'll make them really sad. Like, oh, I just stepped in vomit. Are you kidding?
You've taken this game and just turned it into apartment living.
That's right.
Yeah.
Warren not included.
The top floors are the best because they have the best oxygen flow.
Yeah.
And,
Just don't be too loud on the balcony.
That's right.
so yeah, I played that, and I've also actually today, recording time, the Dungeons and Dragons Online hardcore server just got released.
Okay.
So
Is this new? Is the hardcore server brand new? Oh, wow.
Brand new, just came out today.
So
recording.
DDO, a game that came out in, I know we go over this every time we bring it up.
14 years old now.
Yeah, very, very long
Yeah.
time ago.
Hardcore describing the difficulty or the personality type who play it?
The personality type.
Both.
Usually in these games, hardcore is a game mode that means it's permadeath. If you die, your character's deleted.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is usually what it means.
So for the longest time in DDO, Dungeons and Dragons Online, there's been like fan groups where everybody agrees to play permadeath.
But how do you know? How do you know if someone's cheating?
Well,
Is
I
there
mean,
a way
you-
in there to like...
You generally group with other people, and you agree to play permadeath together.
Oh, I see.
And then, if somebody dies in the group, everybody agrees to say, well, all right, well, if you're not going to delete your character, you just can't play with us anymore.
I get it. But there's no like... there was no...
No, there up until this
hardcore
point,
server
up until this
vibe.
point, there was no way to force this agreement.
Mm-hmm. It's a thing that a lot of other games, it's worth mentioning, a lot of other games have had forever. Diablo 2, going back to its like first or second season on Battle.net, had a hardcore mode.
Yeah,
It's been around for a very long time.
yeah. So there's generally speaking, this game up until now hasn't had any sort of competitive aspect to it. Like there was much like early World of Warcraft. There would be like, okay, well, who's the first guild to beat this raid? Or
There's no like PvP or anything in
nope,
DDO?
absolutely no PvP.
Wow. Like real Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
PvP shouldn't be in there.
There you go. So the way that they've done this hardcore server is they've added like a competitive ladder to it. So there's two different ways you can level up in this ladder. Doing a quest, there's three difficulties for each quest you can play. Each one difficulty gives you a certain amount of favor, and higher difficulty gives you more favor. So there's one leaderboard where the person with the highest favor at the end of it gets... They haven't really announced what the prize is, but it's going to be 3 months until the server is shut down.
Okay, so this thing is only around for 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the person who gets this top prize gets something. Like I say, it's not announced, but there's a
Lifetime subscription to DDO.
that would actually be a huge prize. With how long this game has been going and how long it
But
plans
how long
to go.
can it continue? Like, when do you do DDO 2? When do you decide, like, this game looks like fucking shit. We need to...
They released an expansion earlier this year, so...
And this game looks like fucking shit, and maybe
It
we need
still
to...
looks fine.
It looks like a game from 14 years ago. It looks like a game
does.
from, like, 20 years
It does
ago.
look like it's from 14 years ago. So the cool thing about it is anybody who's on this top 100 ladder, when they die, you get a global message spammed out to everyone.
That's dope.
So I played for, I guess I should say the other thing, and the other way to get the second ladder is the Reaper mode. It's like Diablo 3 Reaper mode.
That doesn't exist in Diablo 2. I'm not sure what you mean. Reaper mode. Like random, like
What?
the...
No, the torment mode. That's what they called it. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Just like increasing
increasing
difficulties.
difficulties.
Okay, yep.
So the same thing. Reaper mode is the same as torment mode in Diablo 3. You can go from 1 to 10, and it just scales up the difficulty more and more and more. The other way to get on the ladder is to get the most amount of Reaper experience points, which is a separate amount of experience you get when you play Reaper mode.
It's really interesting, actually, the way that they're sort of like the way that they're like gamifying the different, because the Diablo doesn't do its seasons quite like that.
No.
That's really interesting. And the part where you have to pay to be on this VIP server.
Yes. So the way that they have decided to monetize this, because the game's a free-to-play game, everybody thought, nobody was really sure how they were going to monetize it when they announced it, and then they finally came out and said, well, this is only going to be to the people who have a subscription. Subscription players can play on this server, no one else can. There's 2 reasons why they only are doing it for 3 months to start. They haven't they haven't as of now said that it's going to be coming back. So they said they're doing it for 3 months because A, they don't know how much money they're going to make off it, so they don't know if it's a good idea. And B, they don't know how many people who are playing on this server are going to take away from like the free-to-play player experience. So if you have, arguably speaking, all the better players who know how to play the game and who can run quests with all these casuals, filthy casuals.
The gross, the normies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if they're all on the one private server where all the rich people play,
right,
they're not sure if that's going to have a big time negative effect to all the free-to-play players.
Right.
So at the end of the 3 months, they're going to look at, well, let's see, this person who used to play 20 hours a week or 40 hours a week, they transferred all that time onto the hardcore server to play with these people who would be playing anyway.
Right.
So
that's a like fascinating trickle down that I would have never even thought about. Fascinating. So how what there are 2 different leaderboards. Are they tied into one another, or do you pick? You're like, well, I'm going to be either the Reaper Experience leaderboard, or I'm going to try for this other leaderboard.
You can try for both of them at the same time,
but
because you still get maximum favor for finishing a quest on Reaper mode. But Reaper mode experience, generally speaking, there's a quote-unquote correct way to farm it.
Yeah, like an optimal, faster way to do it or whatever.
So if you're going for maximum Reaper, you're probably not doing a lot of the longer quests that give you bad experience because, I mean, going for the favor, you want to finish that quest because each quest gives you a fixed amount of favor. So there's only a maximum amount of favor that you can get in a playthrough.
Oh, you can't just keep...
No, each is a one-time thing.
Interesting. So theoretically, that one leaderboard, the favor leaderboard, could be like, oh, the 5 people tied it first.
Theoretically,
all the
it could.
Quests or whatever. Yeah. Interesting. How you're playing on the server, obviously.
Yeah, the hardcore server.
Yeah, what level?
I'm level 3
of
20.
20. Okay.
There's certain milestones that you reach, and they give you like little cosmetic rewards. I think one of them is 1,750 total favor, which you'll usually hit around level 10 if you can stay alive that long. I know there's a second one in there. I don't remember what it's for. And there's another one for hitting level 20.
Do you play differently?
Oh yeah, you totally play differently. So the way most people play that game is called zerging. So when you zerg a quest, you run straight for the objective. You don't care really about enemies. If you get a lot of enemies following you, you just kind of deal with them at the quest objective.
Okay.
So let's say you have to...
That's not what zerging used to mean.
Really?
Not really. Well, kind
Get with the times, old man.
Do you, Brandon, know the origin of zerging? What do you think the origin of zerging is? I do. Guaranteed I do, 100%.
It's when you
Even
hit a
just like-
Goomba with a green shell.
No?
It's
No?
where
Later, about
you-
10 years later.
Where you 6 pool,
Yeah.
and then you bring your drones with you.
I know. It's Zerg. It was a race in StarCraft. The Zerg were a race in StarCraft. The idea was like you build 1 billion units and you just they're weak and disposable. You just throw them at the enemy. You just throw them at the enemy. They all die. Then you build more. You throw them at the enemy. They all die. And Zerging came from StarCraft.
You made me think that this was something I should know.
No. I was just genuinely curious. I kind of just wanted to flex my I've been playing video games forever muscle.
It was the whip in which your head came over where it's like, Brandon, did you know?
It's a StarCraft thing.
Yeah, so generally speaking, the standard way to play is to get through a quest as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Get as most XP per minute
That's
as
right.
possible.
Don't worry about the rest.
Only do certain quests. So let's say there's 15 quests. There's 15 level 2 quests that are in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say your average person needs to do 10 level 2 quests to get to level 3. The zerging method would probably be to do 3 of those quests 5 times each.
Okay, whatever's the fastest.
Whatever's
Most
the
efficient.
fastest,
Min-maxing.
exactly.
I'm with you.
So the first thing that we did when we got into the group, not a lot of soloing that I've noticed on the hardcore server as well, just because
Interesting.
more people means, more people to take the threat off of you,
Are
more people
you-
to
Is
support each other.
Remind me, is DDO is it a healer DPS tank? Is it a Trinity?
No, there's one kind of way to force something to attack you.
Is there situations on the hardcore server where your tank is going down and you're like, well, I'm the healer. I'm just gonna let this guy die. That's one less person for me to compete with, baby. This is competitive.
No, because the threat doesn't really work the same way. So if the tank dies, the threat doesn't automatically all transfer to the healer like it usually does in an MMO.
So you more likely to let your tank die?
Less likely to let your tank die because the longer they're taking the pain from you, the less chance that you have to die.
Has any of this crossed your mind of how can I get these other fuckers up? Maybe not level 3, but once you get to the higher parts of the leaderboard.
Well,
how the fuck these guys over?
there's a few quests in the game that you physically would not be able to run because there's certain mechanics in certain quests where you have to die and enter a spirit realm for a moment.
It's all a long con. You got to keep the people with
exactly.
you until the very last minute.
So yeah, there's a bunch of people who have been talking about throwing up a group for that specific quest and then getting people to join the quest who have no idea that this is coming.
It's no, it's good. They know this works. It works.
Yeah,
Don't
we just have to talk to that one person right there, and then we can continue with the quest. So, but we all have to do it at the same time. Everybody, 3, 2, 1.
Cyanide pills.
They're all dead.
Got it.
I could see a lot of that.
Yeah,
a lot of that.
But the only thing is, everybody's paying money to play the game, so the chances are the people who are playing the server aren't going to fall for that trick.
I've played MMOs for years, and there's always I think I might be the person now who's like, no, guys, we're just gonna kill ourselves. It's totally fine. It's totally fine.
But yeah, so the first group that I joined, we did all our level 1 quests together today. And we just kind of had an agreement when we started the quest, like, hey, let's go slow, let's group up, let's fight smart, let's just have some fun.
Nobody wants to die. We're all here for a good time.
We're all here to make sure nobody dies.
Not a long time, only 3 months.
Yeah, only 3 months. But yeah, 3 months is plenty of time to get to max level.
Yeah,
assuming you don't die.
Are you gonna? What's your plan? Is there a cutoff where if you're over if you're level 17 and you die, fuck it, you'll wait till next season. If you're under, you'll make a new character? Or
it all depends on how much time is left, because it's a 3 month thing. I signed up for a 3 month subscription because it was cheaper.
That makes sense.
So
fascinating.
We'll see how it goes.
So interested in old MMOs and the weird things they do to
stay relevant.
Totally. Anything else you've been playing? That's with Dungeons and Dragons online.
Yeah, I think that's it for me.
Mr. Brittle.
Yes.
What about you, my friend?
Nothing new. Still chipping away at Fire Emblem.
Mm-hmm. For the next probably
for a long time,
800 shows.
Because it seems like by all accounts about 80 hours.
Yeah, I've kind of heard that number.
I'm probably around 20, maybe just under. And I'm playing that game very slowly, and it's not because I don't like it. It's because it's become very much my. It's divided up into months in the calendar.
I've played Persona,
and
sure,
it's very much like the big event happens on the last day of the month. So it's literally I'm playing through a month, and then just putting it down.
Yeah,
no matter what.
It
was a good month. Good month. So I feel like honestly, at the pace I'm playing, unless I sit down and kind of really dedicate myself, I'll be done. Hopefully
Christmas.
For the end of the year. Yeah. Other than that, played a lot of Overwatch. I got back into Overwatch with they launched a new update.
How's Sigma?
Sigma's good. Sorry. I don't play as Sigma.
Okay.
And I can kill Sigma.
So
Sigma's probably not good.
What does Sigma do? I don't even know Sigma's abilities.
So he's a tank.
Okay.
he has a projectile shield that he can control the distance of.
Oh, weird.
So you kind of hold trigger to throw it out there, and then when you let go of trigger, it'll stop where it is.
Okay.
And then you can call it back. And you can only have one out in play at a time.
There's a couple, kind of like
yeah.
what's her name? Arisa?
Arisa has a stationary one that you shoot kind of like a
little
lava ball,
yeah.
and it stays there. And Symmetra, I think, has one that she shoots, and it just goes.
Okay.
So it'll go right through you and out the other side of the map. I was saying when we got back in, I was like, it feels like a lot of people have shield. Like shields have very much become a big part of that game.
Yeah.
Because he had all that with Winston still has his dome shield.
Yeah.
And
Zyra.
Reinhardt has the big shield.
Does Zyra still have her?
She has her little ball shields. Yeah. She's
Yeah.
become my tank main. The other really interesting thing that they added was they rolled out that forced class.
The 2
The
2 and 2 updates. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the thing a lot of MOBAs do where they so in Overwatch there are 3 classes or 4 classes? 3, right?
Attack, tank, and support.
And a lot of MOBAs eventually they find themselves where everybody wants to play DPS or everybody wants to play tank or whatever. And they eventually force it into, okay, we want an even spread of things in our game. And Overwatch has done that with 2 of each class, all the way to the professional league, which is a little bit
and it
crazy.
actually started that it sounds like it started at the professional level where the meta was just 3 tanks, 3 healers.
Yeah.
So no one ever played attack. And then it felt like not really the meta, but just the way of it down in the lower ranks where everyone wanted to attack. Because those are the characters you get to go and kill people
The
with.
most fun, yeah.
Right.
You want to point and shoot and get kills and that.
So now it's how it works is you queue up from the main screen as a class that you want to play. Once all your party has queued up, then it finds a spot for you. It doesn't seem to have made the wait times too much worse.
1 trillion people play Overwatch,
Yeah,
so it's probably not bad.
So that's fine. And then it is ranking you differently for each class.
Oh, that I didn't know. That is super interesting.
Yeah. So I, as a person who went into this being like, I'll get a decent rank heal. Well, I'll get my best rank healing, probably my second best rank attacking, and my worst rank being tank.
Yeah.
And it was 100% the opposite. So,
Wow.
yeah. It's forcing, I guess not forcing, but at least encouraging you. And they're giving credit bonuses, the credits that you use to buy skins and everything.
Yeah.
They're giving credit bonuses for playing lesser used classes, which I think are the healing and tank ones right now.
If it's like every other video game ever, everybody wants to DPS or be the attacker.
Right.
Nobody ever wants to heal or tank.
Yeah. So
I like to heal. I think healing's pretty fun.
I like healing too.
Healing is like...
I'm a healer CC class for my DDO hardcore.
Oh, shit.
That's insane. Support class as
All
your
the way.
hardcore character.
All the way.
Healing is like damage, but in reverse. Your teammates die if you do a bad job. Healing is like damage, but the people you play games with, the people you care about, start to despise you if you do it bad.
Absolutely.
Damage, they don't give a fuck because they don't even know.
Yeah, they don't know how bad you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. That game, still without fail, you could be doing the best healing of your life, and people will still blame the healer. If you lose.
Yeah, video games all the way down.
But yeah, me and a bunch of buddies got back into it. I had a lot of fun, maybe just because I've been playing Apex almost exclusively for a very long time, that switching it up was fun in itself, and then the changes they made were fun. They were dishing out loot boxes pretty quick when I got back in, so yeah.
Overwatch still going strong.
Since the last time I played, there was actually 2 new characters. There was Baptiste also, who I had never once played.
What's a Baptiste? I don't know that one either.
He is a support class who I've never played as, has some sort of healing gun, but also has a screen he throws out that you can shoot like that.
Another thing
Yeah.
you throw out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it just goes kind of right in front of you, like 10 feet in front of you. And your team, when they shoot through it, it increases their damage.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Wow. I honestly thought I was up to date on Overwatch,
Yeah.
and I've never heard of Baptiste.
No, and honestly, Ash was the one before that.
Yeah, I
she
knew
was the
that.
cowgirl, and I have never played a game with her either. So the last 3 characters I had not played, but Ash I remembered at least playing against before I stopped
Who was
playing.
before Ash? Or Moira? Or was that like
Yeah,
way
I
back?
bet you Ash was more. There was Ash, and then back before her was Moira, and back before her was Arisa. Back before her was
Doomfist?
Doomfist,
Maybe.
and
Okay,
then
I think I'm still kind of a little up to
and then
date.
the Latino girl,
Sombra.
Sombra. Yeah.
Okay.
and I might be missing one. But
Baptiste, huh? I own that game on PC.
You should jump back in. I feel like
sometimes
I feel like either
PC.
I magically got better at this, or far more likely, it feels like maybe with the new update, a lot of new players have gotten in because I felt like I was doing all right.
If it ever comes, I just don't want to buy it a second time. A game I don't play, I can't buy another time.
And then I played again more Apex. They have a new event out, the Iron Crown, and oh boy, people real pissed about how they've monetized that thing.
What's going down?
It's 24 loot boxes.
Okay.
They are, I think they're random in the order you unlock them, but they are not, you will not get duplicates. You get 24 loot boxes. If you get all 24, you will get all the 24 items that they're giving as part of this event. Is this
a I'm playing and I'm unlocking these, or?
It's like a separate currency that you're unlocking by doing separate challenges.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Can you buy that currency if you wanted to? Can you pay money to get through that
thing
faster?
I don't think you can buy to get that currency, but you can get all the loot boxes that you can get using that currency. You can also get them with Apex coins, which you can buy using the currency. So 24 loot boxes. I think they're 700 Apex coins each.
Okay.
And I think 1,000 is $10.
Okay.
So $8 somewhere in there, I think. Which I was like, whatever. I can ignore all this shit. I'll just
buy it all.
I'll get as many coins as I get, and I'll buy the loot boxes that I can. But apparently, they max you out on 2 loot boxes that you can buy without paying.
I see. The shoe has dropped.
Yes. So apparently, and I have the news story because right before we sat down, the Epic came out and said, we didn't do this well. Here's what we're doing now.
Whoops. Not Epic.
Sorry.
Shit. They're under EA. They made Titanfall Respawn.
So they came out and said we fucked up, but it was basically from all accounts like $150 to get all the skins. And what was really pissing people off was the skins were pretty good. And
so finally,
and they've
good
been
skins in Apex.
accused of not putting good skins into even their battle pass.
Yeah, at long last.
I'll tell you right now, as much as the challenges have kind of given me something to do and made me enjoy. If season 2 had been just like season 1, I wouldn't be playing Apex anymore. Season 2 has at least given me these challenges that I can be like, well, even if I'm not winning, I'm kind of knocking off these challenges. My battle pass is going up way faster than it did in season 1. But I am level 70 something out of 100 in my battle pass.
Getting there.
3 things maybe that I'm like, I'm glad I have this now out of those 70 levels.
The cosmetics are still
are not good, yeah. And even some of the stuff where it's like, well, they dished out some new loading screen wallpapers, and I was like, well, that's
stuff other people can't see.
Yeah,
cool.
That's better than the same one that I've had, but you also can't randomize them, so you're basically like, I guess I'll do this one for a while.
Yeah.
And I'll do this one. Then they did the same thing with music, where different dropship music, some of which is like, oh yeah, this is a good little beat, but I want to be able to randomize it. I want it to play something different every time without me having to go into a menu and change it. So, yeah, I don't know.
Season 3, maybe. Yeah, maybe they'll bring some of that for season 3.
Maybe. I hope that they fucked up this Iron Crown thing enough that they'll be like, okay, we got to get our shit together.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like it was not one of those like, oh, we see now that you guys want this, that kind of press release. It was like, we're still learning how to do this, and we did not do this right. Like the press release very much felt like they.
Do you think that's what you say no matter what, though?
Yeah.
No, I feel like I've heard a lot of press releases where it's been like, we see that maybe you wanted something different from our services.
Sounds a lot like EA.
Like positive spin, right? This felt like we fucked up.
Do you think they're just self-aware enough now, especially being under EA, being under the people who broke loot boxes basically for everybody?
Yeah.
Do you think they're maybe just self-aware enough of like, hey guys, no matter what happens, you gotta like,
it's bad.
Hey, we fucked up.
There's also some acts you can buy for like an obscene amount of money that I don't think you can get any other way. And I think it's just a melee weapon.
Everybody wants to make $1 trillion Battle Royale dollars. Well, Battle Royale is still hot.
Well, Cliffy B is going to save us.
Oh, I have a story in news. God damn it. My own personal feud. It's so easy to be cynical about that stuff.
Yeah.
Is maybe my issue.
So anyway, ignoring ignoring that, which I do because I honestly don't care. Like whenever they have these events, I'm like, oh, I get what I get, and then I move on. I'm not one of the people.
But the fact that you
like,
don't care is maybe even a bigger problem, indicative of like, what are you guys even doing? The people don't care about your skins, they don't care about your battle pass, they don't care about your events.
But I think people care about the skins. They're just mad about how they have to pay, which for me it's more of a usual event. Like I get into the season battle pass and everything, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. But then every now and then an event comes around and everyone gets crazy like, I need to make sure I get this stuff because then it's gone.
Yeah.
And I've always been basically like, well, I'm going to do the challenges that come with the event and I'm going to get the coins and I'm going to buy the loot boxes. And whatever I get, it'll be this nice little, like, oh, I got that from that little event they had. Yeah, that's cool.
They'll bring it back because they always do.
Sure.
Next year.
So I was ignoring all that, just playing my challenges like I do. They added solo mode.
Yep, solo queue for 2
part of
weeks, I think, right?
Yeah, and I think that's the runtime of this event.
Okay.
So they're kind of tying that in. And a lot of the challenges are like, okay, 5 kills in solo mode for some extra Iron Crown coins on your quest to get 2 of the 24 boxes.
It's so fucked up.
And that stuff is fun. Like that, the kind of the extra solo stuff that they've layered on top is fun because then it's kind of like, I don't even really like playing solo, but it's like, well, it's a mix up. It feels like a very different animal when you play solo.
Yeah.
So every now and then you can just kind of walk away from threes and play some solo. It's also a good way to get challenges done that you don't want to like slow your team down when you're like, I got to land in the swamps as many times as it takes me to knock 4 people. So I'm just going to go on solo and do that alone. I still like that game because of the concept and how it feels. I hate a lot of the decisions that go into that game on a update by update basis.
It's also a little different for you because you put money into it. It's worth remembering that anybody can just pick that game up for free.
Right,
and
exactly.
I guess they don't. I was gonna say get all the game relevant content, but I guess that's not even true either because you have to buy your character classes.
Well, so the character classes at least can be bought with in-game currency.
Yeah,
and a very reasonable amount.
It's okay. I wonder how much. I only unlocked the one class. I wonder how much I played.
If they keep if I don't use my whatever they're called, elite coins or whatever the not premium currency, but the one you use to unlock the classes. If I stopped earning that now, I bet you I'd have enough for the next 5 characters.
Have you been getting like for battle pass? Have you been getting more though?
No.
Okay.
No.
So that's not so bad.
Yeah.
But it's totally worth remembering. Like you could pick up this game, pay $0, and still totally play and get most stuff. Minus like a few character classes.
You get 8 out of the 10 character classes right off the hop,
and that'll get kind of worse over time. But that was the League of Legends thing, where eventually their roster became like 150 characters, 150 plus or whatever, and you get 8 for free or 12 for free or whatever it was.
I think it's 8 out of 12 are free now.
Yeah.
So I think it was 8. And then they had 2 unlocks, and now they've added 2.
I think that's right. Because I was there for the first 2, Caustic and
Mirage. Run unlockables.
Was it Mirage?
Yeah. And then they've added the Electric
Space
Girl
Lady
and Octane.
Boom. Got there.
Octane has a part of the map now, which is Octane's Gauntlet, it very much reads like an indoor motocross trick track,
sure,
with a flaming ring in the middle.
Okay,
that you can like run down ramps and go off the Octane jump pads and go through the ring and try and grab what's usually like a high level item floating in the middle of the ring.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, so often people are dropping and it's not an easy grab. And you just see people jumping through the ring from opposite sides, trying to like grab it, and if they miss it, they're trying to like punch them in the air.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty fun. But yeah, that's kind of it.
It's good to hear they're keeping it relevant.
Yes, I still like Apex. I just think I shake my head at a lot of the decisions they make.
Yeah,
and a lot of the time, the amount of times that they've been like, "Well, we didn't really know that you guys weren't gonna like this. We're gonna."
That only holds water so many times.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, guys, Respawn, not a small company by any means. The experience at Respawn, like legendary in the industry, the folks who brought us Modern Warfare all those years ago. So that, how many times do you like, we didn't know you guys didn't like aggressive loot boxes, I guess. And
I think, maybe I'll just talk about it real quick now and then we won't get into it in the news. It sounds like the way they're handling it is by making this stuff purchasable right out of the store. So you don't have to buy 24, because you're buying these $7, $8, whatever it is, loot boxes, but you You could guarantee that if you bought all 24 of them, you'd get
Get 'em
every
all.
item, but you couldn't guarantee the order that you got
It
them
might
in
take you 24
to get the
item you
one
want.
thing that you want.
Yeah.
So I think what they're doing is they're going to be like, you just go buy whatever you want.
It's $5 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And then you get your skin. So
maybe-
that is how I want all games to be. But
Show the skin, buy the skin.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you about Dota. All the heroes only got to buy skins.
what's the
And some of them are $60 each.
is it Overwatch or Rocket League? I know it's a game that's very relevant to me that is not doing the loot boxes anymore.
Rocket League.
Yes.
Yep. As
Oh no!
I think we talked about that last.
And then one of them is okay. That was two separate stories because one of them is they're showing the odds.
Yes.
And then one of them is they're not doing them, which is Rocket League.
That's correct. Yeah. And Epic is on the Epic, who now owns Psyonix, is on the forefront of that. Psyonix, who made Rocket League.
Good.
Good. Any other video games that we got to talk about here? I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go for a quick break. We'll come back here. Do the news. See you here on the other side of this musical break. Heavens, do I have to pee? Heavens, do I have to pee? I haven't had my chat up. I don't know if anybody's even here. Hey, thanks for watching. If you are, be right back. Gotta pee.
Shit, I'm sure everybody here.
10,000 people here.
Wouldn't that be crazy if 10,000 people were here and we weren't even paying attention?
That'd be the best way to have 10,000.
Yeah.
Shit, if there was 10,000 people here, I'd probably say something ignorant.
Hell yes. Do it.
Well, hold on, let me see if there's 10,000 people here. If I can even find the old Twitch app. Oh, there's 10,000 people here.
What are we at? 12?
10,000.
1,300?
10,000. I thought we were clear.
Oh, I thought you were kidding. No, I know you're serious, and that's awesome. Oh, fuck. You know these dumb things with all the people sitting at the table, and you gotta pick which table you'd sit at? You seen any of those?
What?
Like, things like this, except it's not always, like, this one's just, like, animated characters, but sometimes it's, like, pop singers or something, and you have to, like, pick your table based on who's there.
Oh, okay.
Just dumb internet shit. Fuck, I want to sit with Goku and Homer, but fucking Mort's there too. Is that his name? Mort?
I don't know.
What's that guy's name?
I know probably like
What's that show
20% of these people. I'd sit at table 4 with Hank Hill and whoever the hell else is with Hank Hill.
Who's with Hank Hill? I would also sit with Hank Hill. Cat Dog.
Cat Dog.
And what appears to be Kermit the Frog. That's a pretty good table.
Yeah.
There's someone who doesn't know a lot about Cat Dog.
Was that its own? Was Cat Dog its own show?
Yeah, I think so.
I remember.
It was at least
Cat Dog,
it might have
but I
been
don't
part of
remember
those.
it was from something.
Yeah, it might have been one of those like variety, not variety, but the cartoons with like multiple like cow and chicken, but then also the segments about baboon
Cow and
weasel.
chicken. Wow, I've thought about cow and chicken a long time.
What's that show with Pickle Rick called?
Rick and Morty?
Yes. Which one's the scientist?
You're asking the wrong guy. I think it's Rick. I think Rick is the scientist because people that I stream with often go Morty in a way that makes me think an old man is saying Morty.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think Rick is the scientist.
Okay.
Maybe.
So I got table 3 here. I got table 3 here with Goku and Homer.
What
but
is
it's
this?
also got fucking that guy. It's just pick what table you want to sit at.
Oh, okay. One.
I haven't even looked at them. I saw Goku.
Who's
and
the
I was like,
Afro
oh,
good
Goku
one?
and Homer. And then I was like, oh.
Oh, yeah. Dog, Cat, Hank Hill, Kermit. Oh, Goku, Homer. Shit. At least we get the old one, I guess.
Yeah.
Who the I don't want to sit with anyone at table 8. At Pink Panther, Popeye, Garfield.
Garfield would be cool to sit with.
You shut the fuck. Get off this podcast. Shut the fuck up.
I think Pink Panther
Five
is
might
a
be
fucking
alright.
psychopath, too.
I don't know who is at 5. Samurai Jack, Dexter, and
That's
I don't know who that is.
the girl who Doug Funny is crushing on.
Oh,
I
okay,
think.
okay.
That's
That might be
an
an
okay
alright
table.
one. Yeah.
Arthur, that fucking crazy kid with the one eye, and Spinelli.
That crazy kid with the one eye.
What's that pink dog's name at table number 9? Because it'd be cool to sit with Bumblebee and Chucky from Rugrats.
I don't remember, but I know I've seen him a bunch. I don't remember.
Fuck, 6 is probably my nightmare table.
Which one's 6?
SpongeBob and 2 fucking SpongeBob looking people.
Oh, that's an adventure. That's an Adventure Time guy.
Okay.
And I think that might be. Is that Invader Zim? It's hard to tell. That might be Space Invader Zim. Zim's cool. I don't know what those other two though.
SpongeBob's pretty cool too.
A lot of people
I'm
like
not a-
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob is a pot smoker's king.
Okay, how about Afro Samurai, what appears to be Naruto, and Bender?
Yeah, sure.
That's
Afro.
all right.
I'm not crazy about.
Actually, you know
Afro.
what? I
guess
don't know.
you
I don't know.
wouldn't
I don't know if I could sit with.
Is Afro played by
Bender.
Samuel Jackson, or am I crazy?
Yeah, that's true.
He is, right?
That's actually him, right? Afro Samurai.
I think
I assume.
so.
Some of
think
these
so.
seem like not great drawings.
Yeah, I didn't know who. I thought it might be a robot with.
Kevin
an
picked a
afro.
good table. Kevin did Hank Hill, Kermit the Frog, and Cat Dog.
That's a pretty good table. Cat-
Goku and Homer are a fucking fun one too.
It's true, but like you
Yeah.
got to be down for some hijinks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That table's not staying at that
Yeah.
table.
And you're fucking gonna eat.
yes.
You're gonna fucking eat at that table.
Or maybe not with those two there.
Yeah. I mean, protect your food.
Should we do the news?
Fucking Kamehameha.
Please don't focus on Kamehameha me. The news, gentlemen. Story number 1. This fucking table is coming apart.
The ghost came back halfway through the show.
Real story number 1. Holy shit! What a news reel I have for you today, Kevin. I know you love Korn. I love Korn.
I love Korn.
Brother, Korn concert. It's coming August the 20th. You and I, we're gonna be there. It's happening apparently in this game called AdventureQuest 3D, which I looked up a little bit today. It looks a lot like World of Warcraft. I guess it's a free-to-play MMO on Steam, and Korn is playing a virtual concert in both the 3D and 2D versions of AdventureQuest.
So is this going to be gated to like you have to be level 20 to get in this
I have
area
no
kind
idea.
of thing?
I don't think
or...
so.
I really hope that Korn doesn't know what they're getting into at this point.
Korn knows what they're getting into.
It looks like the just the graphics of the game, the visuals of the game. It looks like a really early world. It looks like Second Life, like a really early 3D game. I hope I have nothing going on August 20th. I have to know.
I'm checking to see what day August 20th is.
I want them
right
to
now.
show up at what they think is a concert venue
What the fuck is this?
and have a bunch of people bring the mocap suits and be like, put these on.
August 20th is tomorrow podcast
Oh,
time.
shit.
Oh, shit. I'm not working.
I'm gonna see if I can get in there. I'll see if I can get in there and stream the Korn concert.
I
Maybe.
totally would love to go to that. That's just ridiculous.
What do you mean go to that?
You
To
would
just
like
log on as a
Yeah,
character
you-
and go to the concert?
You would have
Okay.
to go to the space in the world in the game, and then you could turn your speakers up and probably hear Korn play, and it'll probably be
What the
it'll,
fuck is this?
Like it'll probably be them in a room like this, just over server, like whatever the in-game voice chat is. So it'll probably sound like
It's gonna be
total
a
fucking
live
shit.
It's gonna be a live concert, like it says.
They say
like
they
they're
say
going to be
live.
playing it. Yeah.
Like Korn will
But
be
are
in a
they
room.
are they live or are the characters in Adventure Quest 3D playing live?
I don't think so.
It's
Okay.
It's recorded live and then played back
live
live.
To a
as a
live
live
audience.
character
Yes.
to a live audience.
No, I think it's going to be live, and I think they're going to be in a room much like this with microphones, just playing their songs, and then it'll go over the whatever the in-game voice chat is.
Do you think if they were to like do like a dual thing where they did the concert in game but they also like streamed it to Twitch, which one do you think would get more viewers?
Ooh. I hope everybody's going to watch in-game. There'll probably be a lot of
I
people
would watch
restreaming.
in game. I would watch in game rather than watch.
Like I might be one of those people.
You might as
restreaming,
well
but
at that point.
I'm gonna sign up for an Adventure Quest account this weekend and see if I can get this figured out because
It's
Korn.
kind of mind melty in a little way. It's very
Yeah.
meta what's happening here.
Also, like Adventure Quest. Who has ever heard of Adventure Quest
Yeah.
3D before? Right,
I
this
bet you
second?
Korn.
It's an early
I bet
access
you
game.
Korn
Also,
plays it, and that's why they're
must.
doing this.
You're right. They
Yeah.
must. Also, worth mentioning, it is an early access game on Steam. It's
I'm
gonna
pretty
be
sure
crazy.
lead singer of Korn is like a big video games guy.
Yeah, must be.
Jonathan Davies, I want to say.
Well, hey, good for him.
Freak on Leash. I hope they take requests.
I think I've seen Korn twice in concert.
one of them was like fairly recently because I think I remember you talking about on the
Yeah.
podcast.
What do you think the venue's like in game?
I would assume there's a mosh pit / mosh.
It looked like an
We're
arena.
talking about arena or stadium?
They had a picture. Well, it looked like a gladiator, like a coliseum. It
Oh,
looked
okay.
like a circular thing, and it looked like they had what looked like in-game like Korn characters on a like. It reminded me of Brutal Legend. If you remember the Brutal Legend set, it's like a big monster across the stage, but it looks like they made a stage. I have to know.
I would laugh so hard if seriously 30 people showed up. So it's like
we're one of them.
Korn's on stage playing to this virtual concert, and there's
30
people.
But does
we're the only ones over 18.
They're probably just gonna throw 20,000 NPCs in there just to make it look good, and then you show up and
yeah, but I'm sure they'll have the stats, and they'll be like,
well, never show Korn the stats.
10 people watching, huh?
I mean, Korn's probably played some pretty small venues in the last couple of years. So
Korn don't care.
So fucking wild. I have to know.
I just just them sitting around being like, "Hey, you guys ready to go out do the AdventureQuest show?"
It's wild, man. One of them, Kevin's right. One of them must play it.
Yeah, for sure.
Or own it.
Or they have a great marketing team or something.
No.
But it's like World of Warcraft. When Ozzy Osbourne was doing World of Warcraft commercials and shit. I mean, I don't think Ozzy
that's
plays
different.
It's a little different.
It is a lot different for me. Right. I know what you're saying,
right.
but
you're right.
If Ozzy would have played a concert in World of Warcraft,
somebody must have played. So many people have gotten married in World of Warcraft. Somebody must have done a concert in Warcraft by this point.
Don't get married in World of Warcraft. Well, do whatever you want.
A lot of people get married in World of Warcraft. Do whatever makes you happy.
Get married for real?
Probably.
No, in game.
Well, in real life also they have the ceremony in World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I don't think it's on the same day though.
I bet it is for some people. Are you? I think you are underestimating.
You fucking get Grandpa. You have to make a character.
Listen. If you're gonna have your wedding in World of Warcraft, I think Kevin is seriously underselling how seriously you are taking.
What do you tell your guest? Do you only invite people who are already on there, or do you
probably tell them to buy the game and make characters? Hey, we're doing a destination wedding. It's in Azeroth.
Could you imagine you're setting it up? You're walking down the aisle, but you have a PC, a laptop strapped to your chest so that you can walk down the aisle in World of Warcraft.
No, they just do the
simultaneously.
auto run. Come on. And then the priest or whoever is like, hey, stop. Your character, stop. You gotta stop. Character's at the altar. You're at the altar.
No, I just picture the minister putting on his little collar and then sitting down in front of a computer to officiate, and a little I don't know what's a World of War. A panda comes out in a little minister's outfit and fucking marries him.
See, I'm picturing separate ministers for live and World of Warcraft. So you'll get some lag and you'll have to tell the minister live, "Oh, can you slow down? Our in-game minister is a couple minutes behind right now,
but just in his earpiece.
We need to make sure that it's that we say "I do" at the same time in both real life and World of Warcraft.
I just picture their mom being there, crying, being like, "This is just not
These
how
are
I
not
pictured
tears of
this.
happiness."
This is not how I pictured this going down."
We all make fun, but there have been, I bet, hundreds of real weddings in World of Warcraft.
Oh,
I bet
for sure.
Thousands.
Real, but.
Real
people getting real married.
People getting real married.
Log off the game and it's
man and wife.
You still have to legally sign something.
Legally
you can't
binding.
get legally married in a video game.
I bet there's a way.
You have to sign something. You have to at the very least sign a
it's
true.
license.
Just like you can, just like you have to sign for credit card purchases and you're putting your credit card info. I'm sure there's a way of this EULA pops up and it's okay, just by clicking here, you are agreeing to legally marry this person in real. I just want to let you know. And you're like, yep, I do.
Just scroll to the bottom and hope
I do.
Hope you don't accidentally sign away your firstborn.
I bet it's out there, and probably not just World of Warcraft. I bet there's lots of games, lots and lots of games. People take their games very seriously.
It's true.
A lot of people live their lives in World of Warcraft. Brando can't believe it.
No,
it's real. It's real.
I refuse to believe
it's real.
This is not how I pictured it.
10,000 people are going to write in. I was married in World of very happily for 20 years.
I'm not saying you can't or shouldn't. I'm just saying
3 happy young orclings.
You can't. And maybe shouldn't.
Yeah, well, hey, speaking of things that you maybe shouldn't, a new Saints Row game, quote, deep in development over at Volition.
Mm-hmm.
How deep? No, I don't know. No release date. This was super surprising to me because Saints Row has kind of been on a sort of a downward decline, shall we say, for the last 3 entries. Saints Row 3 was pretty good. Saints Row 4, okay, you sort of started to... You got the joke. It started to get tired. Gatto to Hell, no thanks. Agents of Mayhem...
I've fallen off by this point.
Whatever that last one was that was super poorly received. Maybe you gotta maybe rework Saints Row in some capacity.
Well, it sounds like they're doing something.
Yeah, same studio, worth mentioning. I don't know. They gotta, if it's just another, like, hey, we got President Keith David again. If it's more of that humor, I think it was really funny at the time. Johnny Gat wearing a giant Johnny Gat head to be in disguise is really funny in 2011.
They're not capturing enough of the 14-year-old market anymore.
Yeah,
Everybody's grown up and like, I don't really give a shit about Saints Row
I
anymore.
was like 20 when I thought that shit was funny, but you're right. I don't give a shit about Saints Row anymore because it's just been the same game for so long. That level where you play as a toilet was really funny the first time. When you do it again and get out of hell, it's like I was a little offended actually. Like you guys are running the same bit again, huh? You're right. You play as a toilet and two. Are you?
Can you move as a toilet?
Yeah, no. You have guns and.
All right, that doesn't make any sense.
The first time, it is hilarious, and it is like in world in a way that you're like, this is the greatest game ever made. And then it just keeps. They just keep going. They just keep going in a way that the joke got
Move on to the next bit.
way too long in the tooth. So we'll see what that is. I think
Saints Row needs a Saints reboot.
Hey,
from gameplay wise.
That's what it says here on the notes. That joke written and workshop by Matt Eads.
Funny no matter the year.
Cliffy B, dude huge. The man who is going to save us from battle royales.
Hell yes.
He may be coming out of retirement to make a game that is, quote, not a fucking battle royale, was what he said. The biggest heel in game development. One, Cliff Bleszinski, the maker of Gears of War. Dude huge himself.
How more healed does this guy need to get before we start to like him?
Not much. He's
okay.
very, very
close.
heelish. He's right at the bottom. Worth mentioning, the last game they made was called Radical Heights, which was a extreme the only, quote, extreme early access game to ever exist.
Right.
Because extreme early access is not a thing.
Right.
Which was a battle royale, which was a game that came out and was super early access and did not have selectable genders. There were only male characters in the game, but there were purchasable cosmetics. You could buy skins for your male characters if you wanted to.
Could you buy a female character?
You could not. No, female characters not in the game. They had their priorities, obviously.
Could you buy a dress for your male character?
Maybe, probably. I don't know. I'm not going to answer these. But they got a lot of shit, rightfully so. It felt like an obvious cash grab. The game itself was okay. It was skateboarding. If you ever played any of it, and it was all right. But going into it, Cliffy B always talks a big fucking game. It's like, well, not like the other battle royales. We're gonna do this one right. Cosmetics last of our list. We're gonna make a good game first. And then they put up the cosmetics before the female characters, and their studio went under a month later, whatever it was. Bosky Studios shut down, because he's a hypocrite. Man, is such a hypocrite. He tweeted and said, "Ugh, guys, I kinda have a game idea. It won't get out of my head. I thought I was truly done, but then stupid brain shows up." Is his tweet here that apparently is going to... He's getting back into game development, and then includes will not be a fucking battle royale game.
Stupid brain shows up.
And it's also worth mentioning, because I don't like Cliffy B at all, that with that drama with the Bosky Studios, he was very publicly boasting about how he paid his everyone got severance and their health benefits and their 401ks paid. And then a bunch of former employees came out of the woodwork and said, actually, no, we didn't. We don't have health benefits or 401ks or severance or any of that. He's lying. But anyways, and here we are now. Where his official retirement from game development was when someone tweeted at him as, I think it was Lawbreakers, the failed game before Radical Heights shut down, saying like, how about refunds, anything? Like, what are you guys doing? This game's shutting down, but you're still taking money for it. And his tweet was, quote, I get you're sad, and we read this on the podcast a few years ago. I get you're sad, but God, this kind of shit is another reason I am never making another game.
No, he's doing it.
Now he's doing it.
Stupid brain showed up.
Whatever. Fuck you, Cliffy B.
The question is, where was his brain? For the last 2 years.
It's making radical heights, man. It's thinking about not fucking battle royales. I'll tell you that.
I'm so excited to be away
tell you that
from
much
it,
right now.
and then fucking knock on the door. Stupid brain shows
Stupid
up.
brain shows
2
up.
years of his brain just thinking, not a fucking battle royale on loop, and then he had
And then stupid brain
inspiration.
showed up.
Such a heel. And he's like vintage heel in like, he's just being shitty to everyone. And there's like, I'm making more like, he's, WWE should call Cliff Bleszinski.
That's right.
He could really revitalize that fucking franchise. You need a bad guy that you can hate. Oh, Cliffy B. Oh.
So hold on, is he going to be a wrestler or is he going to be making the next WWE game?
Cliffy B should make the next WWE game.
He should make the next WWE. Okay. So that's
The fans
story there.
deserve him.
Yes. You're not wrong. The creative lead, more game dev stories here. Creative lead for 343 for Halo Infinite, has left 343. That is Tim Longo. The game is just getting to its final year of development, and he had just recently, a few weeks ago, had moved positions within 343 and is now leaving 343.
It's mildly alarming.
It is, yeah. That's the whole reason of the story. Is like last year development, your creative director leaves, and they always say it's on good terms. Like, oh, the game's in great hands. We're very excited. Yada yada yada.
He did it. He's got other things to work on. He fucking set the ship the way it needed to go, and he fucking. It's probably the opposite. It's probably you won't fucking turn the ship the way I want it to go.
That is how you might read into it.
Yeah.
Of like, wow, this thing sure is fucked. I gotta go, you guys. But yes,
Make sure my name's not on the box.
I don't just put me on the end of the credits. He's leaving. They both describe it as amicable, which, read between the lines for some corporate speak stuff. A Need for Speed game was announced. Did you guys know they're making a Need for Speed game this year?
No.
It's out in November.
They made that movie once.
Yeah, that was... was that before or after the last game?
That was
Has there been a game since the movie? Because they were right around the same
years,
time.
right?
That was
It was Aaron Paul's first thing he did after Breaking Bad, really.
Yeah, and that would have been right around the time of... What was the last one even called? Need for Speed.
Breaking Bad ended when we were in college, right?
Aaron Paul, Breaking Bad.
13.
I think so. Maybe right after.
So maybe 15 or something?
2014 was when the movie came out.
Can you check when the last game was? The game might have been 15 or later that year, 14.
Do we care about the game?
I'm just curious.
No.
Just curious.
No, the answer is no, Kevin.
Just curious in relation to the Aaron Paul thing. Anyways, new Need for Speed. Boy, does it ever. It's called Need for Speed Heat.
Heat is a great movie.
Yeah, and it's what you get when you're outrunning the cops.
Apparently there was a Need for Speed game in 2017 and 2 in 2015.
What was the one in 2017 called?
Payback.
Okay.
Fuck, did that come and go?
Sure. That might have been the one with the weird, like, first-person FMV, like, drinking
I remember
energy
that,
drinks
yeah.
and shit. I remember the trailers, them going, like, into a fucking semi or something, driving a sports car into the back of a semi, like a heist style. But yeah, they're making a new Need for Speed. It's out in November.
Okay.
Will not have loot boxes, EA said. This seems to be kind of a thing they're doing now, interestingly. I watched the trailer. It looks so fucking generic. There are cars. They do show a cop very briefly. It does not at any point in the trailer look like you are playing cops and robbers, which is the whole fucking point of Need for Speed. But surely you must be right.
Might be the greatest game ever made. We don't know yet.
Surely you must be.
Be positive. EA has never.
That's a good.
steered
That's
us
right.
wrong.
That's right. Need for Speed has been a great franchise in the last 10 years. What's Razor Callahan doing? My last story tonight. Xbox has clarified. We ran this story not very long ago about 2 Xbox projects, Anaconda and Lockhart. Phil Spencer, yo boy, and mine, has got out there and said, Xbox, they're not working on a streaming console. That's crazy. That's nuts. They're just making a console-ass console. In an interview with GameSpot, he said, quote, I basically just said it, we are not working on a streaming-only console right now. We are looking at the phone in your pocket as the destination for you to stream, and the console that we have that allows you to play the games locally, basically saying they are not going to at least launch with a kind of Stadia equivalent, which was kind of the thought going in. And he does a little bit of... They say how they were going to release multiple consoles, and he gets into like, well, we released the One X, and that's multiple, right? Base one, that's 2. That means
he's right.
Multiple
He's
means
got
more than 1. In a way, they're
It's
like,
multiplayer.
okay. It seems like they might have kind of maybe shifted away. If this rumor ever had any any
Yeah.
traction. Even it seems like they might have kind of shifted away from that roundabouts the E3 time.
The one thing that made me think that that there was never a streaming console was that Phil Spencer did an interview where he came out and said during the interview, he's like, well, I think there's always going to have to be a place to download your stuff onto the console. Just because there's some of the stuff that they're not there yet with streaming. So it seems like unless he 180'd by then, I don't think there was ever a streaming console in.
Might not have been. They sort of, without getting too much into it, they talk about like their xCloud stuff, and it seems like pre-Stadia being announced, maybe there was a plan to do something similar. You can see a world where Stadia doesn't get announced like it does, because it seemed like they were totally blindsided by their same weekend as E3, but not at E3.
Right. Xbox blindsided by Stadia.
Yeah,
Yes.
It seems like in a world where that doesn't get announced, and they totally like beat Sony to the punch with this, like, it's $90 and it's a streaming box, yada yada yada. I bet that thing exists somewhere. I bet that tech is being talked about.
I guess it comes down to that whole like, well, what is like an Xbox at that point? When do you start saying this is an Xbox, and when do you stop saying that? Well, we have a thing that can stream video games.
We don't call it Xbox.
It's not. Yeah, it's not one of our Xboxes, but
yeah, that's
we might shove it into an Xbox at some point.
That might totally be it as well. It's like this thing is not technically an Xbox. Yes, we will be releasing a streaming box or whatever, or Microsoft will be later. We're not really sure, but we can assume there won't be a $90 Xbox One when the next gen rolls around. Podcast at talkingreckless.com is an email address, or you can drop these on our Discord, which you can find by going to our website, talkingreckless.com, or you can drop on our subreddit. I forgot to post the question thread this week, so that's a bad example, but that's r/talkingreckless. One Brother Meat Reality, regular show contributor rodent, says, afternoon, evening, good brothers. If you had to pick 3 games, wow, this is generous. If you had to pick 3 games that you can only play from now until you die, and only those 3 games, what's it going to be?
Fuck.
We have...
This makes it harder than 1, almost.
Do we have rules?
I mean, we can assume you have, like, internet and...
Are we talking, like, video games or 3 games total?
It just says 3 games, so...
I'm going to do video games because I don't think I have a board game that I'd...
Probably do. Well, I mean, I might put D&D as one of those.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like, that's like a guarantee.
Especially if it's from now till we die.
Yeah.
Do you have anyone to play with?
I mean, I can probably always find people to play D&D. Not the same people till I die, but like D&D, anybody? It's the one of only 3 games I can play.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna try and split up the parts of my brain that I use here.
Okay.
I'm gonna need Tetris.
Okay. Which version of Tetris
Effect.
are you taking? Effect?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna need Dreams.
Is
Media Molecules, Dreams. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a game called Dreams?
Yep.
Or?
That's a game called Dreams.
It's like
It's
the
a
Little
game
Big
maker.
Planet makers made a new Little Big Planet to make your own games in. That's a good answer.
Yeah. It's funny answer because it is a game that in reality I might not even buy.
It might be exactly
but
like
if
Little
you
Big
were
Planet
putting
3.
me in this situation, I would maybe buy that game or get that game. And then I need a big RPG.
Okay.
The Witcher 3.
That's it. Okay. Do you think we can pick games like live? Do you think I could
That's
put like
the thing.
Apex and I would get to play all the seasons of Apex or whatever. I get all the updates.
Yeah, I think that's totally fine.
Okay.
Because I was actually kind of thinking about Overwatch when I got into this because I was like, I never really get tired of Overwatch.
Yeah, assuming people are playing Overwatch until you die.
Problem is when they come out with Overwatch 2,
Oh, yes.
then you're fucked.
I will.
Especially if everybody else stops playing Overwatch 1.
Yeah, because not everyone else has to play Overwatch 1 for the rest of their life.
Exactly. Fuck.
That's tough. I would definitely take some kind of a tabletop RPG. I'll say D&D just for ease of use. Definitely would take that. I need something simple but competitive that I can kind of get my... Man, I don't know. My heart right now says Underlords, but that's because I'm just way into it, and that might not be a good answer. But
I went through a lot of games before I came back to Tetris.
Or like Onrush.
Fuck, we should get back into Onrush.
Yeah, shit. I might take Overlords for my kind of competitive one, and then What do I have? I have an RPG, a tabletop RPG. I have a competitive auto battler. Probably like one of my favorite games that I just like to like Mass Effect 2. Like one of my comfort games.
Like I like Mass Effect 2 better than Witcher 3, but I thought Mass Effect 2 just fell on the wrong end of too short.
Yeah, and I've played it so many times that honestly I might have seen and heard everything in it. I'll say like Dragon Age Origins. There's something that I haven't, a game like Mass Effect that I love and have not plumbed every single depth of.
Kind of like your in Underworld's kind of sense, Underlords sense. I think Witcher 3 is the thing in my head right now because that's the game that I keep being like, fuck, I wonder if I should go back and play that
hearing
again.
about Henry Cavill.
But then as soon as
thing.
I play that, then it would become the next really long RPG where I'd be like, that's the one I actually should have.
Persona 4.
So I kind of want to say D&D, but you said it already.
Hey, that's a fine answer. It's just, are you willing to take? Is DDO and D&D are two forms of Dungeons and Dragons?
Fuck.
Gonna make your
Well,
list?
and
That
see,
would be
that's
an
the thing,
absolutely
though,
insane
because
decision.
I'm factoring in the fact that the rest of my life, I don't want to pick an online game like that because there's no way it's going to be supported for the rest of my life.
That's what I was trying to do too.
So, like, I right now, I would say, yeah, I'd totally pick DDO because I've been playing it for 14 years, but is it going to be here in another 14 years?
In some capacity, certainly. It like as people playing
Fan
it,
server,
totally
like Star Wars Galaxy.
And then you get the best people.
Exactly.
yeah, you get everybody who knows not to go into that one quest.
Yeah, just like Star Wars Galaxies.
That was the thing with me too, is I was like, well, it would make sense to get like some social stuff, like competitive stuff. But I was like, everything that is like that, they're gonna stop.
Yeah, nothing lasts.
Yeah,
in video
they're gonna
games.
stop and move on to something else.
Nothing lasts.
Gotta make your own video games.
I'm gonna say Minecraft as one.
Okay.
Good answer.
You can program.
Ain't going nowhere.
You can program
ain't going
Minecraft to play
nowhere.
Minecraft, so you could probably make Minesweeper in Minecraft eventually.
Jeez.
The original dreams.
I mean,
Minecraft.
somebody could. I couldn't. I wouldn't be able to figure that.
You have your
shit out.
entire life and only Minecraft to play.
I never use Redstone because that shit's way too confusing.
Yeah.
I would probably go, like you say, like with a comfort game, like maybe Final Fantasy VI, or even maybe not even Final Fantasy VI. Maybe like a bigger one with more stuff to do, like a
Final Fantasy 7.
I don't know about Final Fantasy 7. Maybe Final Fantasy 10. Final Fantasy 10 is pretty good.
I feel like
tedious?
those comfort games are gonna, like, when you only have 3 games to play,
You're gonna hate
you're
them.
gonna fucking hate those games soon.
Hate them.
Yeah, maybe. And then this one's kind of a cop-out answer, but I'm going to do it anyway. Tabletop Simulator.
That's a fair. Hey, if we allow dreams, we can
Yeah,
totally allow
that's
Tabletop
true.
Simulator. That's a
Yeah.
fair answer.
Yeah.
I think playing anything in Tabletop Simulator is you do that for a year and be like, well, I'll maybe just jump off this bridge. Playing anything.
Well,
in Tabletop
it's one of those
Simulator
things where, you know,
sucks.
once you get the system down, you figure out all the way to interact
and then
with
find
everything.
people
and then,
who like, hey, not people who want to play Settlers of Catan, but people who want to play this fucking borked version of
Yeah.
Settlers in Tabletop Simulator. Bjorked.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think we fucking thought our way around that question real nice.
Yeah, no problem. Bring on the next one.
What, like the next 3 games?
No, the next.
The fuck is that sound?
What sound?
Ghosts.
Do you still hear it?
No.
Podcast at talkingreckless.com is an email address. We better get out of here before the ghosts get us. Write in your emails. If you enjoyed what you heard, please consider supporting us on patreon.com/talkingrecklesspodcast. We do 10 billion things these days, the TRWL. By the time our next podcast is out, the first episode of Rolling Reckless, our D&D play podcast, should be live by then, hopefully.
What's the date where you're planning?
Should be this Saturday, apparently.
The 25th.
Is that the 25th? Yep, I think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, we'll be streaming that live as well if you're around on twitch.tv/talkingrecklesspodcast.
Everyone's starting at level 1 or 2.
We are all starting at level 1.
Oh, baby.
Fuck, I might follow that.
As far as I know.
I'm definitely gonna be following that, but the sad part is I'm gonna have to come into every stream like 2 hours late
From your D&D game.
from my D&D game because my
Hey, guys,
D&D
catch
game
me up.
is
What's
also
been,
on Saturday. So yeah, I'll be rolling in and it'll be like, okay, I have to watch the second half of it and then watch the VOD of the first half of it.
You guys are like level, 17 in your campaign?
We hit 14, I think, 3 sessions ago.
Okay, getting there. Close to, what do you think you're ending at? Or do you know?
I'm running out of things to stall with.
They're going to have to fight Vecna before too long.
I have tomorrow recording time, 2 days ago podcast time. I have one storyline wrapping up completely. Then I have one more storyline that still needs to run its course, which should be about 3 to 4 sessions. And then after that is just the end of the main quest.
Wow, so getting there.
Yeah.
Getting there. So it might not be too long, you know? The plan is that'll be on Saturdays. Next week is really fucking soon. Like launching the TRWL and Rolling Reckless in the same month was super stupid, but here we are. So please join me. It should go great. I'm sure it'll go fine.
And if it's not, even more entertaining.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
Nothing like bad D&D to really energize the people.
That's
Oh, goodness. That's it. Like I say, please consider supporting us. Patreon.com/TalkingRecklessPodcast. Brandon Lynch, thank you so much for joining us.
Happy to be here, Matt.
Kevin Byer.
Can't wait for episode 300.
It's coming. And you at home, thank you very much for your time for listening. We'll see you here in a week's time. If you like Westworld, we recorded a Westworld podcast called Westworld FM. Check that out as well. And we will see you 7 days from now on episode 256. 286 of the Talking Reckless podcast. We'll see you then. I was distracted by the man either putting on or taking off his pants.
Always putting them back on at the end of the show.
Oh, mercy.
Fuck, gotta get ourselves a see-through table.
We got too much
We can
belly
see what's
for this
going on
belt.
down there.
Too big a Brando apses.
That would be the apoapses.
Oh.
The assoapses.
The largest part of the orbit.
Saints Reboot. Whatever that was.
I haven't looked at my chat once. I don't know if anybody's here. But thank you very much for watching. If you are out there, we'll see you tomorrow for Jackbox. Jackbox night tomorrow. I'm gonna get drunk.
Fucking mad city rappers.
See you tomorrow.